All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Be Healthy and Thrive podcast. My name is Brianna, holistic health and life coach and essential oils advocate with doTERRA. And just want to say Happy New Year if you're listening to this in the new year. And joining me for this, we're going to do a little 5-part series on cleansing and detoxing is Hannah Parker, who's a thyroid nutrition coach. So Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, Hannah.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Just so excited about this conversation.
Yeah, so me and Hannah were talking and just about collaborating some more in the new year, and we are very similar in how we approach the physical health point of view, and just know that it is definitely about holistic health and as well as caring for your whole physical health. And so, what better way to talk about starting that than with cleansing and detoxing? And it's not your typical cleansing and detoxing. We're not going to just tell you to drink green juice, though that's good. We also want you to see that actually by caring for your whole physical health, you can actually detox in a natural way. So what we're going to do is this first part is going to be about introducing that to you and just why cleansing and detoxing. And then the areas we're going to get into in the next 4 parts. So we're excited.
Yay.
So we'll just start off. Maybe Hannah, you can start us off with just talking about maybe just why cleansing and detoxing is so important to you, but also important to the work you do with your thyroid clients.
Yes, absolutely. So I'll just start with why it's important to my clients. So I work with women who have either have a thyroid diagnosis or they're suspecting that they're showing symptoms. And one of the reasons why detoxification is so important with them is the thyroid hormone, the T4 conversion to T3, which is the active version of the hormone, the part that actually gets into your cells and does the work. A large percentage of that conversion happens in the liver and the gut. And even more in your liver than your gut, actually. And your liver is your main detoxification organ. So if your liver is congested, then you're not going to be converting the hormone efficiently. And so you could be taking a super high dose of thyroid medication, and it could look like it's going into your system. Even on lab work, it could show, oh, you have a really high amount of this. But if you're not converting it in your liver and your gut and some other areas, then your body's not going to use it. So what I'm finding is with my clients, addressing the liver detoxification is the very first thing that we do, because if we don't address that, then all the other strategies, even healthy eating, you're not going to absorb the nutrients as well if you're not detoxifying. So I find that it's actually the very first thing to address, and then everything else kind of falls into place as well. So that's why I can't even emphasize enough how important it is for my thyroid clients. And then for me personally, when I was dealing with really bad eczema and some other autoimmune things, that my skin issues were really a result of a toxic overload in my body. And so it wasn't until I addressed my liver and my detoxification pathways that my skin cleared up long term, and I wasn't just putting like creams and Band-Aids, the proverbial Band-Aid over the symptoms. Like I actually took care of the problem from the inside out. So detoxification in the right way, like not like you were saying, not like a crash cleanse or anything like that, but doing it gently over the long haul, completely transformed my own health. And it is hands down the number one thing that I see in my clients.
That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, compact. Yeah. So just even the idea, I think what I hear from you're saying is that it is actually a place to start with, because it's something we don't really see, something that the industry doesn't necessarily say to do this because this is going to mean this. It's actually a behind the scenes sort of thing that is actually the root cause of a lot of conditions, right? And and I love how you even pointed out that with your clients, before you can even change anything, they need to detox and change what they're using, not just in eating. Because I think when it comes to cleansing and detoxing, which we'll talk about through the series, is that a lot of people think we're just talking about eating, and it's actually way more than that. It's detoxing the products we're using. It's detoxing what we're smelling and exposed to. It's sleeping well so we can detox and rest, you know?
Yes.
It's so much more. Cleansing and detoxing is so much more than just about food. And so I love how you say this is what we need to address first. And I love your story, which, you know, we did an earlier podcast about reducing toxins in the food and environment. Just the idea that for you, removing the toxins was the game changer in regards to a chronic health issue. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess for me too, with, you know, when it comes to the physical health side of my business, the Whole30 Elimination Diet Program, which is more of like a strict version of paleo, I did it personally just to try it and see how it went. And I just was completely changed in regards to my mindset and my digestion and my energy levels. Just my mindset that I could eat real food that was healthy and detox and get results and have energy and no longer have any digestive issues. I was like, how could this is like gold, you know, and no one told me anything. And so for me, just really learning about actually what was happening behind the scenes in my body, where I'm intentionally choosing not to even have preservatives, not to have sugar, not to have any of those things, and learning to read food labels. Because I think often we eat certain foods and it says, oh, it's a healthy bar, but then it has all these things that are actually toxins.
Exactly.
And so for me, doing that and just, you know, being empowered in that way, and then learning more about the testimonies people got when they did this program called the Whole30, that, you know, people who are struggling with more autoimmune conditions, who are struggling with, you know, diabetes or Hashimoto's or all, you know, Crohn's or celiac, would do something like the Whole30 and experience significant reversal of a lot of symptoms. Just really made me think there's something onto this that is so simple yet really hard.
Yes,
we're not taught.
That is so true.
You know? But it is, to me, it was an intense program in the sense I saw the benefit, but it does take commitment and it does take support. Because you're just for 30 days, you're intentionally changing, and then you're choosing to reset. You're choosing to introduce one back at a time, but also keep some of the habits. And then, you know, for my clients who have either done that version of the cleanse and detox with around food, but also it's all encompassing program, you know, they've seen, like, I give this example, like, I'm going to have someone really dear to me that used to have migraines all the time, that when they did the Whole30, they only had it once.
Wow.
And that to me is an indicator that there was something you're eating that is just not good. And for them, it was dairy, and it was regular cheese and dairy, not like an organic or whatever, right? And and then I've had other people who've had, you know, had IBS and had those different more digestive concerns that have experienced significant change when they've cleansed and detoxed by more natural ways. And so, and then also as an essential oils advocate too, just learning about what we're smelling and putting on our skin, and how our skin is our biggest organ, and what we put on it is just as important, if not more, than what we take in. And so just learning more natural ways to do that, and learning about the liver, learning about detoxing. It's like, it's one thing to eat really well than to put chemicals on your body. It's like, to me, it doesn't make sense, but it didn't always not make sense. It made sense at one point, right? So I just think it's such a beautiful topic, and it's I'm glad we're talking about it, because really exposing people to the idea that it's not just a quick thing you do to cleanse your digestive system.
Exactly. Yeah. And I like what you said, like, if you understand what's going on behind the scenes, it's motivation to make those changes. Because I think, like you said too, it's kind of like a fad to detox, or, you know, something like that. But when you really understand what's happening to your organs, when you choose to eliminate certain things and add certain things, it helps you. It helps you understand the reason for it. And I know that made all the difference for me. If I would have just done it because somebody told me to do it, I would have never been able to stick to a more strict way of eating, or even like in the things I was putting on my body. But when I knew what was happening, it was just a no-brainer. Like, so it's like the light bulb clicks, and it's like, oh yeah, that, of course I wouldn't put that on my body because this is what happens on the inside, So I think that's why I'm so excited about this little series, is just educating people and helping them see, because we're never taught this, when we were never taught this in school. We were, mainstream health doesn't really teach this. But it's really kind of the hidden secret to a lot of health issues, in my opinion. And I mean, there's tons of testimonials to back that up too.
Yeah. And it comes to the point where you're known as that person who, they're like, just go paint your nails or something. And you're like, I just can't with regular nail polish. I would rather go there, or like you need the good nail polish remover and you're like, I just forget it. It's just going to come off natural. Cause it's not that you're trying to be like a toxin Nazi, it's not that you're trying to be like, oh, I don't know if I should have said that, but
you're so aware of it.
You're aware.
Like,
and it's also for me a way of holding myself accountable, because I don't want to slowly be like, it's okay. It's okay every now, of course, right? But it's like,
sure.
I'm asking myself, do I need this that much that I'm willing to do that?
Yes, so true.
Yeah. So that's kind of why we think everyone should cleanse and detox naturally. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about kind of 7 main areas in regards to your physical health. We're going to take 2 at a time, is nutrition and exercise, and then 7 or 8, I guess. Then stress and sleep, digestion and toxic load, and then mindset habits, and then how that often leads into other areas of your life. So over the next 4 mini episodes, we're going to do that. So anything else you want to share, Hannah, before we?
I don't think so. Just like, I mean, every time I talk about toxins, I always like preface it by saying, you're never going to avoid them 100%, and like, I mean, I know when I was researching it, I would just get discouraged almost, because it was like, oh my gosh, I'm just living in this toxic world and it's so depressing because it's never going to go away. And I would just feel like I either had to get rid of all of it or just succumb to it. And so personally, where I've come with it is like, I don't, you can't eliminate it 100%, but you can change. You can control the controllables. You can control what you can. And so that's what I would encourage, like, as you're listening to this, to think, what can I change? I don't have to change everything. And you don't want to add more stress by trying to change everything, because then it's counterproductive. But do think, you don't have to go all or nothing, but you can do something. Yes. And it is going to make a difference. Even just little changes will make a huge difference in your toxic burden, just reducing that. So I always kind of like put a disclaimer on that, because I know that it can be kind of an overwhelming topic. But yes, little steps.
I agree. Just like I was doing a presentation earlier, and just like everyone's like, it was on stress, and it's like, oh, I'm stressed trying to think about my stress. But it's just the idea that, like, I mean, you guys could probably talk to Hannah and I both, just in the sense that we've been on a journey, and it was one thing at a time. Like, I think the first thing I did was around product wise was just use coconut oil on my skin. That was it, and on my hair. And then eventually I was like, maybe my toothpaste, or and eventually, so over time, and making it enjoyable. And that's just like anything with any habit.
Huge.
Because we're going to talk about a shift of a lot of habits, but you can take and choose, like, of this series, which is the one thing that you really, each day, each time you listen, to kind of change. And so we just wanted to also share from now the different opportunities that we both kind of have as well, that you could get support in the ways you most need. And so for me, I'm actually going to be leading the Whole30 program as a group, and for those who want help one-on-one, starting January 22nd. And enrollment for that ends January 17th. But, if you're listening to this later, then there's always self-study or always one-on-one without the group. But I am running it as a group program. So if you know that you're interested in getting that whole encompassing, because in the Whole30, we do address these 7 different areas, as well as kind of doing a reset, then reintroduction process, definitely check out the link for that. And then for me as well, I'm an essential oils advocate, and I have tons of classes and stuff that I do, and I talk to people one-on-one about that. And I also have a webinar on the basics, if you're new to it, that you can sign up for. But Hannah, what about you? Tell them about what you have that they can, your free offer, as well as your cool little new thing.
Yes. So Yes, for a free offer, I have just a simple 5-pillar guide to balancing your thyroid through nutrition and lifestyle. And that's just at my website, holisticthyroidsolutions.com. And it's just a really simple snapshot of kind of what I work with clients on. But what I am launching after Christmas is just a little mini course that outlines the foundations of holistic thyroid care. Because what I'm finding is this is a really new topic to most women, especially women with thyroid disease who have been going the conventional route with medication and things like that. And so it's kind of scary to just go full-fledged into treating that holistically. And so I wanted to create a self-paced course that gave you just a really deep understanding of what it means to treat your thyroid holistically. And so I'm really excited to launch that. It'll have some other resources and just kind of get you started. Really a starting point. If the holistic thyroid care is totally new to you, then that is a perfect place to start. And then from there, I have 30-day one-on-one packages, and then a longer term 3-month package. I find that 90 days is typically when women see a really big change in their symptoms and in their thyroid labs and things like that. So I wanted to offer something that really walked you through the entire process of really seeing the results. But then some people, they're great with just that 30-day kickstart where I walk you through, we set up a plan, and then I kind of, give you the resources and the power to carry that out on your own. So I kind of have something for the beginner and someone who just wants a kickstart, and then someone who really wants that deep support from the beginning until really seeing that reduction in symptoms. So yes, lots of wonderful things coming in January.
Yeah, so excited. So thank you everyone for listening if you stayed with us this far, and definitely stay tuned next week for the next episode we're going to go address nutrition and exercise. So check out the free resources and the links to our programs in this corresponding blog post, and let us know if you have any questions. All right. Thank you.